Hello everybody and welcome back. I'll move that down a little bit to round 4 of the Autumn Nations. I've tried to record this video 3 times and my camera's cut out, so this probably won't go up. But hey, yeah, let's get into it. It's the final round for most teams. I know we've got Ireland, Australia next week, but yeah, there's 5 or 6 games at the minute. So yeah, most teams will have their final round. So we'll have a look to see if it's been successful, if it's not been successful, and maybe what it needs to be successful this tournament for each team. But let's hop right into it. We will start off with France, Argentina. France are in a good place at the minute. They are off the back of about 2 wins in this tournament so far. They thumped Japan and they narrowly beat the All Blacks last week. So a couple of big wins for them. Argentina smashed Italy and narrowly lost out to Ireland, where they were the better team for most of the second half. So yeah, both teams are playing quite well at the minute. It's been a trend that a few of the bigger teams haven't quite. You look at someone like Ireland, you look at someone like even South Africa. They've been all right, but for what we know they can play, they haven't quite been the best. But France and Argentina both seem to be playing pretty well at the minute. Yeah. They obviously had these games in the summer, and Argentina did beat France once. France won twice, I believe. It was 2-1 to Argentina, I think. To France, sorry. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. I would expect France to win. In terms of the tournament and success, I think Argentina probably do want to win, as how well they've played. They've beat the All Blacks, they've beat South Africa, they beat the Wallabies. They pushed Ireland close. They beat Italy, but to be honest with you, Italy haven't quite been there either since the Six Nations. So yeah. So I think Argentina will look for a massive win. France, again, will probably want to win but basically win, and you've had a successful tournament. France will go unbeaten. Argentina will show themselves pretty well, I think. Next up, we've got Ireland versus Fiji. Ireland, although they've won one of their 2 games, they haven't actually looked there. They lost to the All Blacks in the first round, and may I say the All Blacks also didn't play that great, so they were definitely there for the taking. And again, beat Argentina, but it was good defensive work from Ireland, but Argentina were in Ireland 22 for most of the second half and couldn't really get that final score. So it wasn't the best of performances so far from Ireland. Fiji have had a rough tournament. They've only really fielded their main team once. Obviously, due to the international window, they couldn't against Scotland. They did against Wales and obviously won. And then they played a second string team against Spain last week. So yeah, Fiji have already shown, especially in the game against Wales, that when they get going, they get going. And I think that Fiji do have it in them. They've beaten some of the big Six Nations teams in the last year. They beat England, and it was just over a year ago now. It was just before the World Cup. They've beat Wales. They, and you have to go back a little bit to last time they beat Scotland and Ireland, Scotland and France back to like 2017, 2018. But yeah, this will complete the Six Nations wins for Fiji if they beat Ireland. So they'll be looking for that. I think Ireland need to win. If they lose to Fiji, there's going to be lots of questions starting, especially before Six Nations, that it looks like it's going to be a 3-way bout, to be brutally honest with you. Fiji, if Fiji can push Ireland hard and get that win, I think it'll be an incredibly good tournament from them. And if not, it's not terrible, but not great from them. But I do probably expect Ireland to get it over the line. Next up, we go to Wales, South Africa. Wales are shocking at the minute. Is it 10, 11 losses in a row? If they lose this game, it'll make it a whole year. They won't have got a win in 2024, which is just, for a team at the quality of Wales isn't good enough. Does Warren Gatland need to go? Probably, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, it's going to be a long way back for Wales. And their opponent, the current double world champions, don't get much more difficult. Maybe Scotland, but yeah. South Africa got wins in all their games, beat Scotland, beat England. Although they didn't actually play that well in either of those games. England are crap and Scotland just couldn't score a try. That's how they won. Yeah. I expect South Africa to get a big win here. They'll go undefeated as probably you'd expect them to. Wales, yeah, they've got problems at the minute. Yeah. Next up, we've got Italy versus New Zealand. Italy have fallen off since the Six Nations. They really have. They had a good Six Nations, obviously beating Scotland and Wales. Then, just haven't kicked on. They lost to Tonga in the summer. They got thumped by Argentina. They then had to come back from well behind against Georgia to win. Yeah, and to be honest with you, the All Blacks, although they've got some wins, they haven't played amazing. Again, as I said, they weren't great against England and Ireland. They just were lucky that neither, England are crap and Ireland didn't really turn up themselves. They lost to France, but it was a 50-50 game and someone had to lose. I expect the All Blacks to get a big win here. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Same with Wales, South Africa. It's unfortunate these guys aren't fighting a heavyweight this week, but it's still good to see. It'll be good for Italy to get a run out against New Zealand, but I'm expecting a big scoreline. Not much more to say about that one. Next up, though, we go to probably the round of the week, the match of the weekend, maybe tied with France, Argentina, and that is Scotland-Australia. Scotland are 2 from 3. I did say at the start of round 1 that they needed to go 3 from 4 and push the box. They pushed the box. I know this maybe not in the scoreline, but the scoreline flattered. So, excuse me. But on the pitch, they pushed them quite hard. It took South Africa quite a while to break them down. And win the other 3, they've put 50 points on both Fiji and Portugal. So, Australia are 2 from 2 so far. They beat England and Wales. A lot of people going on about can they get the home nations clean sweep? I don't think so. I think Scotland will win this. I think it'll be tight, but I think Scotland will take it. Australia are a good team, but they faced England and Wales, and neither of them are that great at the minute. I think for the next 2 games against Scotland and Ireland, they're just at a slight different level to England and Wales. Wales are crap, and England's defence doesn't work. You can't if they're shifting 40 points at home to Australia, it's a problem with England, to be honest with you. I think Scotland will ease it. It might be tight. I could see it being decent scoring. Maybe, 20-something, 30-something Scotland. A decent scoreline, but I do think Scotland will take it. And then go to the final game of the weekend, which is England versus Japan. And England's had a terrible tournament. I said they needed to go 3 from 4, knowing they had the box and the All Blacks. They needed to beat one of them. And it's not quite worked out that way, has it? They've not been absolutely dire, but they've not been that good at all. The defence isn't working. Marcus Smith has looked better, but I still don't think he's the answer. The forwards aren't physical enough to do the rush defence. They're not physical enough. They're not fit enough for it. They do it at the wrong times. You look at South Africa, they don't rush all the time, especially if they're if they're already back foot and they don't try and push up South Africa, because they'll give away penalties, because they'll make mistakes. Whereas if you look at England, they'll just do it anyway. And England's tackling isn't good enough. You know, if you're on the rush defence, you make your hits, but when you've got, you know, Australians and South Africans bursting through 2 or 3 men trying to make a tackle, then yeah, the rush defence isn't working for England. I just don't think they're physical enough. I think the only team in the world who are physical enough to do it is South Africa, and they've proved why they can do it. But yeah, I think it will be a better game for England, as they are facing probably the one team they'd want to face at the minute, which is Japan, who are horrendous at the minute. Eddie Jones, yeah, I think it's over, mate. He's not, you know, done himself many favours recently, has he? Yeah, they have had a couple of wins recently. They had an unconvincing win against Uruguay last week, but yeah, they're playing England, who should probably, to be honest with you, England should probably run quite a few on them. Yeah, although I don't think this game is that great for England as at the minute, as it'll paper over a lot of cracks. But to be honest with you, if it means a crap for the Six Nations, I'm all for it. But yeah, that's my predictions. So we've gone with France to beat Argentina, Ireland to beat Fiji, South Africa to beat Wales, New Zealand to beat Italy, Scotland to beat Australia, and England to beat Japan. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. And I shall see you later. Yeah, bye bye. Come on, Scotland.